Hello everyone, and welcome back to my fragrance channel Elixis. Today we're going to be reviewing a fragrance from the house of Giorgio Armani, and this is Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum, a new fresh flanker in the Profondo line. Tune into the rest of the video for me to give it a rating, and let's get started. So first we're going to take the cap off, which is magnetic by the way, and we're going to spray this directly on our arm to get kind of an idea of what this fragrance smells like. This is a beautiful aquatic and marine fragrance. I love this fragrance for the spring and summer. Now let's go further into detail. So this fragrance is the most recent one that we've reviewed so far, releasing in 2024. And in my personal opinion, and this may be a hot take, but this is my favorite Profondo out of the Acqua di Gio Profondo line. This is a darker take on the original DNA in a slight way. It's very much more of like an aromatic, ambery aquatic scent. It's got that marine that I really love, but the labdanum that's in this smells more on like the ambery side than it does the earthy side, and it really brings out a lot into this fragrance. This has a little bit of like a green mandarin note in it with some slight citrus, and I do get a lot of mimosa, especially in the middle, and when it dries down, that like patchouli and labdanum really pops, especially the labdanum. But this is a very marine, aromatic, ambery scent. Would be really good on like a spring and summer day. I can understand though that this one is not as mass appealing as a lot of the other Acqua di Gio fragrances, but in my opinion this is like very nice in the air when it's sprayed. A very marine forward scent. Like if you're really into marine scents, this is one of the best when it comes to marine, at least at the start of the fragrance. This is very marine powerful right when you spray it on and right in the opening. The patchouli in here brings it a lot more depth. This is probably one of the more polarizing ones in my fragrance collection just because of how much people love the Acqua di Gio line, especially the Profondo line. And this one is a little bit of a different take on the Profondo line itself. So not a lot of people are a big fan of this, but me personally, I love this fragrance. Other than that, you'll still get some good compliments with this. It's not like one where everyone's going to hate it. It's very different than what the normal Profondo line would be. It's still got some characteristics to it, but they changed it a lot to the point where it's kind of its own thing now, but it's still a really good fragrance. To me, this is more like a mature Profondo. Not that Profondo isn't mature, it's just because of how mainstream Acqua di Gio Profondo is, this is something that differentiates it from the rest of the line that I just love about it. And it's like one that is very unique to stand out, because while people are wearing Acqua di Gio Profondo out in public, you can be wearing this and you'll smell a lot different even though you're wearing something from the exact same line. It has like a nice sweetness to it, in my opinion. It's a very aquatic and marine scent, but it's got like a warm depth to it. So it's not one of those that's gonna like come off of your skin in like a couple hours. It'll stay on there pretty good because of that warm and almost spicy like aquatic. Just because of that labdanum in there, it really keeps it together. It'll stay on your skin quite a lot longer than like a regular cheaper designer freshie that'll only last like 3 hours. So really the only thing I can say for you is just to get like a tester, or if you go to a store that has it, try it for yourself and see how much you like it. And me personally, I love it. Alright, so with everything we've went over so far, let's talk about this fragrance performance. And to me, what really stands out about this is how long it does last for being a fresh fragrance on my skin. And to me, I get about 6 to 8 hours of this on my skin, which to be honest, that's pretty good for a fresh fragrance. That's like almost towards the top tier of performance when it comes to fresh fragrances, because in general, the stigma is fresh fragrances don't last very long, and they really don't. But this one to me is more on the upper tier of long-lasting fresh fragrances. I will list the notes on Fragrantica here into the middle. And in terms of price, It's kind of a mixed bag, honestly. On discounter stores, I get around $80 to $110, but the price does vary depending on where you look. And to me, I would not pay more than $100 for this fragrance. I would spend like anywhere from like 90 down for this fragrance. It's very good, but I don't know if it's worth over triple digits for this fragrance, especially if you're someone that's had mixed opinions over the notes and accords we've went over so far. To me, if you're willing to buying a bottle, I would stick towards the lower end of that price range. In terms of giving it a rating, I want to have my personal bias, because of it being my collection, kind of stand out more. This is one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. So for that, I think I'm going to give this a rating of an 85 out of 100. It doesn't etch out Parfums de Marly Galloway just because it's a lot more polarizing than that fragrance will ever be. But because of me rating it how I would like in my collection, this is one of my favorites. And this to me is a very solid spring and summer fragrance that you can pull on almost every occasion. And if you're one that likes that spicy, aquatic, marine kind of fragrance with like some aromatic tinges to it, you can pull this off on almost any occasion. And I think it smells great. Well, that is going to do it for this in-depth review of Acqua di Gio's Profondo Parfum by Giorgio Armani. If you guys enjoy it, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want. If not, there's no hard feelings. And until the next fragrance review, I will see you guys in the next one.